Yep. I didn't do a video yesterday for him. I forgot. I went on it at 9:30 in the morning and it didn't.
Was I naked?
It didn't snow. We haven't been out there to do that. Our sexuality hasn't led to us being naked out there.
They really like
We don't
that.
bang on the fridge anymore.
They really like that turkey.
Oh man. Here we go. I can't believe this is happening to me.
No, it's cold on their teeth.
Sorry about that.
Want to play some Rocket League?
I'm going to try.
Rocket League!
I don't know if I'm going to be any
I'm
good.
going to play some Rocket League.
I'm waiting to find out if I'm going to be any good.
And you know, if she don't want that harness, you see what I have?
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh man, can you get it? I thought I invited you. I may have. Oh, let's quit. Oh shit. Damn it. Not what I expected. I invited him. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't remember. Good try. Oh, let's try. I went right through it. Wait a minute. Oh no. Ah. Ah! Nice job, James. Incredible. You deserved all that. You did the work yourself. What a game.
I got scared and didn't want to join. Figured I'd fuck it up.
Yeah, and then you almost did. Alright, that's over there. Ah, in our way. Oh no!
Oh wow!
Oh no! Oh my God! I got pitched like a fucking gem for him.
Right, yeah.
Pink.
I can frisbee golf.
Yeah, frisbee golf. Just made a net. Good game. Hey, it was 1-1. 1-0 for a long time. I figured you couldn't get off the controller. You know what I mean? To pause it. You know what I mean? Normally you would on a goal, but even when we scored, it was a quick highlight. Oh, look at you with the only goal. Me fucking low bottom. It sucks. Sucks. You fucking playing an amazing pool. I don't know how I'm going to beat you ever. I don't think I will.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit. Yeah, that's what George
Bullshit. Dragon does pretty good pool too, unless we have powers.
Yeah, you know what he's doing? He's rushing it. He's rushing it, and he just doesn't like. It doesn't look like he really looks overhead at the table. You don't either. You don't use the overhead view that much. You
No,
look
I
more
don't.
at him, but not as much as he does. I mean, I'd like to be sure. I'm going to take my time. But you've been playing that fast pool, so you're like trying to fucking hit it as fast as you can.
Yep.
The fastest you have to do it is 30 seconds, right?
Yep.
Oh, there's a shot. There it is, right off the bat. There we go. Flying chicken finds over there, pouring every once in a while. You guys rib each other. I was ribbing you. You didn't know it was me on there? Funny.
He just said Mike. I didn't know if it was the
Oh,
same
okay,
until
yeah.
I said so.
Yep.
I didn't know you watched him.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
No, I was wondering why nobody said anything in mine yet. I never turned it back on.
You didn't
after
turn
the
it back
first
on,
time.
yeah. I saw you earlier, but I didn't see you broadcasting live then. Should have said something. Maybe I could have reminded you.
I ended up turning it back on, but
You broadcasting right now? Like I'm broadcasting every time we play.
oh no, not no more.
Oh, okay.
I rarely broadcast this because it fucks it up.
No, yeah,
Makes
it did
it
with mine.
super laggy.
It's what I had like slow internet over at the house. But I was only getting like 30 megabytes per second over there.
Yeah.
Here I'm getting 100, you know what I mean? So it doesn't most of the time, but then there's other times when it'd be like probably there's a schedule, oh wow, a scheduled like update or something that I didn't know about or something with my internet. So it'll go off for, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, well, it's just uploading fucking 4 or 5 megabytes worth of something, a jelly thing or something. That's why I think it kicks you off or kicks me off. I don't know why it does it in the afternoon playing golf. Does it with Tom, does it with you. Did it with me today. Fortunately finished the round. Oh, shit.
Just need to bite the bullet and get me a fucking ether cord that I can stretch all the way into here and plug it in.
Oh, yeah, you're using Wi-Fi or wireless?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it hooked up. I got it hooked up to the ether in here too. But yeah, I'm getting a PS5 by the end of the year. I have to. It's going to be like, they're not going to update that much more for this. Cold War might not get updated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cold War's probably never gonna get updated. It's too old.
Probably
They make
again,
too many Call of Duties.
Yeah. What a mess.
They don't even update the which one is it? Modern Warfare anymore.
Really? And that's one of the most popular
they
ever.
got Call of Duty. Well, they got Call of Duty 6 and shit now, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't even think anybody's really enjoying that, to tell you the truth.
I was. I could never get nobody to play. The zombies on there are badass. Yeah.
I don't have the money for PS5 or that game. That's like probably $90 game, $89 game.
Yeah, somebody bought it for me
That's
to play with them, and then they only played like once.
I hit it wrong. That's unbelievable, dude.
But
does
the
it have any zombies like Outbreak or whatever? Or
it's better than Outbreak. It's a giant open world with random missions, and there's random zombies, like different kinds of zombies.
Really?
Yeah.
So
and there's other people.
I went the wrong way.
I mean, it's harder. It's definitely harder.
More manglers, more like,
No, other real, like, people. Like, you get in gunfights and have to fight zombies.
Oh, they're people, like, from in the lobby? Like, it's almost like fucking PUBG or something? Like a Battlelands game or something where you got, like... That's crazy. Did I lose you?
Have you ever seen somebody play Warzone?
I must have lost you. Yeah, I played Warzone.
Okay, well, it's like a mix of that and zombies.
Yeah, but I'm saying, there's other people that join a lobby, right? And they fucking are fighting against you?
Yeah. You don't really see them too much, though. It's like random. You might run into players and you might not. They might be nice or they might kill you. Yeah.
So you might be starting to get shot by players where you're fighting zombies and then all of a sudden bullets coming your way. And you're actually getting hit by, and then you could be like not even aware it's a player until you go down and they show you how you got killed. And it's a player that was shooting you while you were getting hit by a mangler. That's crazy. Right. Yeah,
but I mean,
that'd be insane.
That never happened to me when I played. I was always playing by myself. And every time I ran into anybody, they would just
join. How big are the maps? Bigger than Outbreak? Like if you go to like
it's
or
huge.
something?
It's huge.
But they only have one map? Is it like...
Yeah, it's one map. I think they change it up, though.
Right. But it's huge enough, like, but you don't run into people, really? It's crazy.
I mean, you do. But it's rare. Because there's only like
you have to gather
4 or 5
resources
teams.
and shit, or is it just your?
No, you have to find your armor and guns and shit. You come in with just a pistol and no armor.
Yeah, but it's not like I see they have an Outbreak called Survival that I've never played. I've seen it played, but you got to pick up food and shit. You got to pick up.
Yeah.
You start with like a 1911. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hard.
And then you got to fucking forage and find shit. You know, the chests are probably in the same place though, right? So you'll get a big chest, or somebody will get it. You know, you can share a big chest or whatever. But I think it's all set up so you can. Oh man, come on! I thought they were gonna hit the corner there. That was a good shot. But yeah, I've never tried that one. That seems to me to be really tough.
Yeah, the survival is. It's hard.
I like collapse this one because it's like every game is different. You got, you know, especially if you play with teammates that, oh man, almost at least know what they're doing. You know, if you have teammates that are going over and fucking setting off the fucking thing right off the get-go, and then they're you know, they're getting it destroyed before the world even pops. You know what I mean? You can get your shit over there. It's like very selfish. Good shot. Blind shipping. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you get good players though, and everybody's on the same, you know, thing, you can really do well.
Yeah.
You have somebody cover you when you get to the third, you know, fucking anomaly. Then you can get all your guns tiered up, you know, with guns tiered up or whatever, and cover you.
And see, when I played the zombies by myself, I don't even play the Outbreak.
Yeah, you play like what, Forsaken and all this other mess.
Yep, but I also play the ones where you just go against the bosses, where you got to follow the orb thing around.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I've never
it's
played
hard.
those. That's what I'm saying. I've never played those. I'm a little simpleton when it comes to zombies. I just rather. Is there any time in Black Ops 6 zombies to stop and, you know, fucking chill? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So you got those. My favorite map, I think, is fucking Suga because of the big bridge. And then you also got like you got those 2 round bunkers, right? So you go in the bottom of them. One time I had a fire lady just started at me immediately, dude. And man, that was like so scary. But afterwards I got kind of used to going down there and waiting to see if she was there. But yeah, it was you know, oh my God, I just almost dropped the control like fucking when she jumped at me. And of course I didn't hit her with a single bullet, so zombies came out of everywhere. So I just get on the ladder and jumped up. I think I grabbed some fucking monkeys before I went on the ladder, though, because it's got that building thing in there. And I fucking went up there and threw monkeys, and I had like a fucking mangler and fucking like 2 tempests or something like that, you know. So, but yeah, that's my favorite map on Outbreak, I think, other than the Zoo. Zoo's a good one too. I like Zoo. But it's like twice the size of that, or maybe the size and a half, or. Like the Zoo's pretty big. Zoo's a big map.
I'm saying it's probably the size of like DMZ, if you've ever played DMZ before. It's on Call of Duty. It's a game mode.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played that.
It's like playing Warzone.
Warzone's a big map too.
That's
pretty cool though.
It's about like that, but a little bit bigger.
So if I played it with you, we'd land, we'd jump out of like an airplane or helicopter, we'd land just like regular Outbreak, or does it start differently?
It's like playing, it's like playing PUBG. You come in on a helicopter and you decide when to jump and where to land.
Oh, okay. Or Call of Duty mobile type thing, right? Kind of thing? Yeah, okay. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I just have to wait until I get some things paid off, man. See how the economy goes. The way it's going, you know, you won't even fucking have any fucking cash. It won't be worth anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Burning the fire.
Which is a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yep. Because if you have cash, nobody could fucking hack into your system and steal your shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then you're not even like you never even had it. It's like you can't
Which
prove
is
you had
what
it.
What all these Arab people are doing to these older folks.
I bet, man. Like I said, when I quit, my last job in Florida was that call center I told you about, where they were fucking trying to get scamming people, old people, because they just don't pay attention, right? Whether shit, I misclocked it. Whether they're watching TV or something, they're watching their stories, and then somebody like me calls, right? It's like smooth talking and like, hey, you got this Wisconsin, fucking long distance. We can save you some money by switching you to, whatever this fucking fly-by-night place was.
Yeah, just give me your credit card number.
And there's just
I'll get you set up.
It's like they're all set up. You set them up with dopamine by complimenting them for something, for their voice or even being home. I'm glad I found you. Means like the world to old people. You know what I mean? They may not even have their family calling them. And here you are willing to talk
like
to them
5 times a day.
Yeah, I don't get any anymore.
From a guy trying to sell me Medicare. I'm like, I'm only 28, and as soon as I say that, they hang up. That's how you know it's fake
because you're not making any money off somebody that can't pay you for something you don't need or can't get. You can't even get it, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm saying, it's like my whole situation is, I get health insurance through being disabled, but I mean they're doing away with they're doing the whole Doge thing, I guess, in every state now, because I've had Blue Cross for the last 16 years, and now they're taking that away, and it's going to be like I'm going to be with United, man, of the United Community of Idaho. It's not even like it's not a huge circuit, but it's like the guy that got killed was a United CEO, right?
Yeah.
So they're giving me that, you know what I mean? It's like half the benefits I get from the Blue Cross like I had for 16 years. So it's like, there's just something that changes. Everything changes, but I mean, it's just when it does, it's kind of sad when you lose shit, you know what I mean? You open a change and it gets better, not worse. But they're cutting 80,000 people out of the VA that actually work with, people that probably need burns cleaned on the daily or weekly or whatever, or, other sad situations, so they're able to be seen rather than mine, which is mental faculties. But in a physical sense, nothing I have, the thing I have can't be cured or solved, except maybe through surgery, and it's just, I've never looked into it. I've never been wanting to humiliate myself like that. So it's just one of those things. I just have to deal with what I got and try to cope with it, you know what I mean? But It's really hard when I hear that fucking 80,000 veterans are 80,000 people that work with veterans. And a lot of those people are veterans, and a lot of those people are disabled veterans, you know what I mean? And they're losing their job, for the sake of a dude that's making $8 million a day. It's unfathomable to me that taxpayer money is being used to fund so much shit that I disagree with. And I guess Republicans are starting to disagree with it too, because the Department of Education, abolishing it, I can't even imagine cutting all the people out of that and saying you care about teachers. Mm-hmm. They're cutting half of the Department of Education. It's another executive order, not a congressional bipartisan, legislative victory. It's one man's whims.
Yep.
They should do is
just cut history out of school lesson, because that shit doesn't work anyway.
Well, if history repeats itself, right? Isn't that what they say? Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, they teach all this history, and look at these kids these days.
Well, it's not only that.
How fucking
Dakota,
crazy they are.
It's not even kids. It's Dakota. You understand that Elon Musk, right? Who's because he has money, I guess he has all the influence and the power to have a car commercial on the way out farm. But, I don't get that. But the idea is that this man went to Auschwitz, actually took a tour of the concentration camp, saw piles of shoes that would fill up a basketball court, right? You know what I'm saying? That came from people that were exterminated because they were, an enemy. They were called vermin. They were called the same thing Trump calls you know, illegals or Mexicans or whatever his flavor of the month is, they hate. Transgender, I mean, he gets more applause when he attacks them than anything else. But I mean, the idea is that he went and saw this with his own eyes, bro. I've watched enough World War II videos and videos on Auschwitz and Hitler to probably read a book about it. But the idea that this man could go there still carrying a child on his shoulders and just make a joke after he does a Nazi salute is not only sickening, it should disqualify him from being a citizen in our country. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's not only fucking evil, that's hate to a degree that he said that empathy is like a bad thing because, you know, people mooch off empathy, I guess. This from a guy that has $500 billion and has been bailed out by the government of the United States on many different occasions. You know what I'm saying? It's just frightening that he has that much power and that much sway in the government of our country. A man that used white water fountains, whitest only water fountains, and a South Apartheid, you know, kid that inherited money from an emerald mine his parents ran. Using black labor, I'm sure not at any fucking payment scale, right? You know what I'm saying? They weren't given checks. You know what I'm saying? They weren't given anything, probably, most of them. But these two are in charge of the entirety of society in this world. And it's very frightening. They have arrested a man that was protesting for Palestine against the genocide that the Jewish people are doing. You know what I'm saying? The entire destruction of Gaza so it can be made way into a Trump hotel and casino. You know, and all these 2 million, you know, Palestinians, which the majority of them aren't, you know, Muslim terrorists. The majority of them aren't Hamas or whatever it is. But I don't know if you've seen what they've done to the whole Jewish.
What concerns me more than all that is
what? What concerns you more than that? Did I lose you? Doing a network error. Are you on the... I didn't hear you. You got a network error.
Oh. I said, I don't know. I think what concerns me more is these dudes that say that they're chicks and trying to put multi-gender bathrooms in schools and shit. Blows my mind.
I mean, I never knew anybody when I went to school all of my years that was, you know, that was like considering himself a her or a boy or a girl, wanted to be a girl. Yeah. You know, I never met anybody in my life that wanted to do. Right. Now, when I drove a cab, I met men dressed as women that called themselves Brenda, right? That kind of thing. But I never, degraded them or were derogatory to them. Living their, best life. What's it up to me to say?
I'm waiting for the day when I go to the store or something and say, thank you, ma'am, and the ma'am says, excuse me, you don't call me by ma'am. I'm he, she.
I haven't had that either, right? And if you did,
that shit ever happens to me,
I'm mad about that. I mean, you're not going to just be yourself. Just be who you are. I mean,
I'm going to slap the shit out of him.
It takes courage, I guess, to dress up as a girl, as a man. I've never put on girls', clothes or anything, so I can't say that, it's something that some people like it. Some people act like that.
It blows my mind that they think that that's okay.
Right? I mean, but he was trying to be near his kids, right? He played a woman to be near his kids. He wasn't doing it to score fucking dong or whatever the hell, play fucking volleyball and smash the ball in somebody's face. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I've never thought
because I'm a fucking shitty male golfer, I'd be a good woman golfer. That are mentally insane.
Well, they don't have insane asylums anymore. They don't have 24-hour, 48-hour holds that they can do. Really, I don't think anybody's
that's going to fix it.
The thing is, if you go out to a bar and you talk to somebody that's dressed up as a woman, there's some that are probably pretty attractive. You wouldn't know the difference. And to find out later after you've made out, and start touching fucking down below and feel something, squishy, that's
when I get shot.
Most people would fucking probably pull out a gun and shoot that person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is an incredible amount of just hostility that can be just, I mean, to be that shocked and that, and then if it's a joke and he starts laughing at you, holy shit, dude. I don't think anybody could be held accountable for their actions at that point. That's a ruse. That's like catfishing, right? That's like a crime.
That's why they would get shot.
I was saying. I don't understand the whole reading books to children as men dressed in women's clothes either.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I never had. I mean, it is. It's hurting because that's not what society is built on. Is that kind of,
Right.
That
They're
kind
focusing
of,
on dumb shit is the problem.
we don't need a whole world of lesbians. It's just like we don't need a whole world of gay men, because there won't be a world left. We need, we do need heterosexuality, but it seems that they glorify this whole transgender situation. There are children that have dysphobia. There are children that have certain, like you say, mental illnesses, and that's what they used to be called. That's not something that was like, there is a video, though, that is very important in this, is that the riflemen even had something to say about this. Because in that time, there was a man that obviously had some mental damage to him during the Civil War, and looked and was exactly like Abraham Lincoln. And so everybody called him Abe. He began to think of himself as being Abraham Lincoln. So the president, he'd be like, the president's eating with you tonight. And oh, great to see you, Mr. President. Great to see you, Mr. Lincoln. Everybody kind of gets played along, right? But he was just such a nice guy that it wasn't like they were like, hey, you need to go talk to a therapist until you talk out what happened to you in that fucking conflict that you're thinking you're a woman or thinking you're Abe Lincoln, dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, but nobody did that back then. It was just like, they were just nice to the guy. There was no reason to. There was a guy that wanted to fight him though, because he was like, he's crazy. He's not Abraham Lincoln. But my wife told me of her grandfather, right? Wasn't who he had died, and the grandmother had died, and the grandfather every day was like, where's my wife? And they tell him, I'm sorry, he died, and it just every day broke his fucking heart, right? So they started telling them that he just went fishing. He'll be back in a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? And she never had a day of a broken heart afterwards. So is lying to make somebody feel better the same as like accepting that somebody might think they're a man or a woman? That's not. I mean, and I think the bathroom situation has been blown way out of proportion. Can't you have a family bathroom that has, stalls and I've seen them with like a wash basin in it, as opposed to like a regular bathroom that just has, 2 sinks and 3 toilets and fucking, maybe a couple urinals.
The bathroom thing ain't real anymore.
I've never even, I've had to use a woman's bathroom.
They were thinking about it.
Came about, that they were.
And then when all these people
bathroom.
went nuts, they changed their mind.
So what is it now? I don't know what the rules are.
It's just regular as it is.
Just a he and she bathroom.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's one way to do it.
But when they were going to do it, there was a bunch of people that went nuts. Because who wants a fucking guy that says he's a woman going into the little girl's room with his kid?
I mean, is that really as big a problem as it seems like everybody made it out to be? I don't seem to think that I'm hearing something every day or week or month about that. It's like Lake and Riley. They're crying about this fucking poor Georgia girl that got murdered by an illegal alien, an immigrant, one of the rapists or murderers that Trump talked about. And it's like, how long ago was that? And why hasn't there been another one that they're talking about? If they're that big a fucking threat, right? Millions and millions of rapists and murderers, and they can only come up with one girl that's been murdered in at least the last year that I know of, right? Lake and Riley, they talked about it. He's talking about it the other night when he's bringing tears to everybody's eyes on the conservative side, because it's like a fucking poster child for, how bad things are with immigrants, but it's the only one. They usually come here and work hard, and the ones that do commit crime are in prison already, because they're stupid. You know what I mean? They get caught. They're doing dumb shit. But, I mean, we've only had 40 fucking We only had 40 fucking people taken to Guantanamo Bay, and they were all fucking, none of them were like rapists and murderers. They were just in the country illegally. So it's like this whole Guantanamo Bay concentration camp thing is just blown up. I just don't get selling fucking Teslas on the White House lawn. That makes no sense to me. That's like the most, like, and then he had notes like he was like, they gave me notes like that when I worked in selling used cars. But in the used cars business, you have to run out there and meet the customer, and all these fuckers were like rushing out there like they're fucking trying to train for a marathon. I think it's the most undignified thing to beg for money like that. You know what I mean? Beg for business like that. It wasn't like, the dealerships had any rotation scheduled. I mean, when I sold them, it was all every man for himself. You didn't get out there first to make an impression, you weren't selling the car that day. Yeah. And that's when it shouldn't come down to. It should come down to you even Steven. Everybody gets a chance to sell one. So it was frustrating. But I can imagine that's how it is for illegal immigrants too, because they want to be citizens. I'm sure they're desperate to be citizens, but this fucking idiot can't come up with a plan to help them out, so they keep getting grapes picked. You know what I'm saying? Keep making them whine. I keep on losing, Demon. I keep on losing them. We're undefeated tonight, aren't we? Yeah, I can't fathom it all. The thing that sucks the most for me about it is just how everybody around them is just a yes person. They're all sycophants. Like, they got to start every sentence was, well, thanks to the incredible leadership of Donald J. Trump, everything is better and prices are lower. It's just like they're in a delusional state where they can't even acknowledge reality. Because if it does, your leader will be very offended. Like he was with the AP when he told them they couldn't do the news anymore because they're not going to call the fucking Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. It's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking about spending millions and millions and millions of dollars to change maps the world over for one guy's ego.
I think that's what your real problem is. There's
What's
so
that?
many people out there that there's so many people in the world that think they're entitled to shit they're not entitled to.
Well, nobody's really entitled to anything. It's just that in this country, like I say, when I served my country and got disabled, I would think my country would care about me enough to fucking take care of me a little bit through my life. And I've been able to be taken care of a little bit through my life. And now that I'm getting towards the tail end of my life, to have a president that's never served, that was a draft-dodging coward, 5 deferments for an injury that, if it was still an injury, the motherfucker couldn't stand, right? Bone spurs don't get better, they get worse. And he can stand, he can stand for hours and talk about himself, but he shouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? If Muhammad Ali went to prison because he'd rather be a conscientious objector than, he said, there's nobody over there that I want to kill. You know what I'm saying? And he made a good point, but Trump rather have, his dad pay a doctor, tell him he's got an injury. You know what I'm saying? I put up my right hand to serve. I got disabled service. And Trump doesn't understand that. I'm a sucker and a loser according to what some people say. He said. So,
well, my uncle would agree with you.
80,000 VA employees being fired means longer wait times for these men that have visible injuries, that have arms that have been shot off or blown off. I mean, the people in the pits at 9/11. That Rand Paul wanted to shut them down. He was like, we can't keep paying them forever. I mean, but Elon Musk gets $8 million a day. The richest man in the world. He deserves that money. I mean, at least Trump said he was going to donate his salary, but he never did, I don't think. He never had that, actual follow through. Said he was going to buy a Tesla yesterday. Legally, he can't even drive.
Why is he rich?
Why is who rich?
Why is he rich?
Musk?
Yes.
He inherited most of his money. He had to be bailed out because he went under in his first ventures He actually has never really invented anything. He's just bought into the product. The product of Tesla was another man's idea and vision completely. He just had the money to buy the man off. So I mean, it's like Franklin Brooks, I think is his name. He's a foreigner, just like South African, I think maybe. But the emerald business, the emerald mining is what made the Musk family rich. Just like selling whores is what made the Trump family rich. They had the same thing. Draft dodging coward as a grandfather left Austria or wherever the fuck he was from there, and to avoid the draft. And so he went settled in Alaska and started the whole selling beer, booze and hookers. That's how the Trump family started their fortune. I mean, yeah, industrious, I guess, maybe. Instead of having to work, he actually just bossed around as a pimp. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Made the Trump family fortune. And then his father actually made the family fortune that we know today that Trump squandered. $491 million that he basically got from his dad. And then that's like $2.5 billion today. But he went through it, and it became he had to pay the most taxes that had ever been paid by any American citizen. And so he worked out a deal with the government where he'd get deferred and wouldn't have to pay taxes for like the next 10 years. That's why he brags about now, if you're smart, you don't have to pay taxes. I mean, taxes pay for roads and bridges and fire and police, and you can have a society that's like Red Dead Redemption, but you're not going to have that kind of police response to anything, or a fire response that can put out a fire. You know what I'm saying? If you're left at the individual cities, they don't have the resources to have that kind of equipment. Without federal funding, without, just like education, it's the same thing. We want our children, I think, to have a uniform understanding of the world, but abolishing the Department of Education, I mean, how does anybody, you're going to have to assume you've never been taught anything, or nobody's ever been taught anything. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to know, fucking mathematics. Are you kidding me? You're going to have no bridges built in the future by Americans, that's for sure. I mean, it's like there's a certain kind of pride that MAGA cult members, or conservative Republicans, have for the dumbness of people. Like Trump loves the uneducated, right? The more uneducated people are, the less they'll understand what he's saying, or the less they'll understand what a Nazi salute, a Roman salute, actually means, or where it comes from, or. I mean, try to do that when you went to work, if you go to work somewhere. You'd never be able to do that. You couldn't address somebody who comes up to your counter at a fucking Wendy's and say, Sieg Heil, how can I help you? You know what I mean? Or do the salute and even say, I can say, give me my love. You know what I mean? It's not acceptable. I mean, you can. That's the whole point of the United States of America, right?
Yeah.
You can. But the idea is what kind of person you're dealing with somebody that does that. And it's your choice whether you want to associate with that kind of person or just. Right. But there's a lot of people that have been doing that salute since that was done. Since he did it there's like two people that Alex Jones, I think, did it. The fucking one thing. He just did it very briefly, but it was still the shortened version of it that you see Hitler doing it when he's sitting in a car. You know what I mean? Which, by the way, he did the same fucking thing Trump did with the cars. He did it for Volkswagen, though. So there's pictures of Hitler, standing over a fucking, a new Volkswagen for that time, and that's cool to drive around the tour. It's like
Volkswagen is related to that. In that time
but the idea that Trump would do it with this Tesla geek that fucking did a Nazi salute, I mean, it's almost like they're advertised. Trump is full blown, I think, invested in trying to supersede what Hitler did. By now, it's becoming painfully apparent. We're just waiting for the first, blood to fucking flow, other than, people that have been affected by, say, the abortion ban, right? Which I believe abortion is murdering a person in the sense that it's possible that you're having a Hitler or an Einstein, right? You know what I'm saying? Either one's possible, or anything in between. But it's not going to be apparent, a child, a living creature, for another fucking 8.5 months, right? After you find out. But, I don't think the moment of creation is like...
So instead they should just give them away?
Give what away? Abortions?
Instead of having an abortion, they should just give them away after they
No,
have
I
them?
think the government should have taken a long time stance that life is life, and that any mother that needs help with any part of the pregnancy can be, consistently helped by the government. But after
Right.
2 children, they should be legally forced to have, tubes tied or whatever keeps them sterile for the rest of their lives. Because, you're counting on the government to raise your children is not acceptable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, your mother is a different breed. It's a different time. There's not many people that can get, jobs and shit to take care of 8 children now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
There ain't nothing that takes care of 8 children
But
anymore.
I think if you're going to have an abortion, if that's the only option that there's, churches or there's, how about orphanages? I mean, there's so many children in orphanages. It's like, and we don't even take care of children after they're born. It's almost like there's just a real lack of self-awareness that embryos are life, but children aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they mock like Michelle Obama wanted to have, healthy school lunches, and they're like, "Oh, you're a fucking communist." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a man. You're not even.
They don't care.
You're not even
They
a
don't
woman.
care what
You're
our
a-
world's going to be after we're dead.
Well, I mean, that's why Trump's got rid of all the EPA protections today. He signed over 25 executive orders, I think, today, abolishing every EPA after signing another executive order to clear 200. There's 230 hectares of national forest that's protected. He wants to gut 180 hectares of that forest for I guess we're going to build wooden ships again. I don't know what the deal is, but for lumber, but the idea that these Teddy Roosevelt protected and George Bush protected and Bill Clinton and other presidents have increased the national park, but now Trump wants to decimate all the fucking foliage, which again is going to contribute to global warming, which Trump doesn't believe in. He doesn't think it's happening, but you can look at the polls and see it is. It's really frustrating that the science-based reasoning
They keep taking away all the trees and putting more buildings and more buildings and more people. We're just all going to die.
More paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Yeah, it's the same kind of thinking. But Trump doesn't have any 30,000-foot visions for the country. He's like you say. He's looking at the moment, and there's so many people in his ear about so many things. It's like the jerk. When he gets rich from the fucking eyeglass thing, and he has all these people coming, they're going to bring an iceberg from fucking the Antarctic to fucking Alaska, or the people in Africa, so they have clean drinking water. They need money for that. And then the one guy shows them that they're putting kittens in bags, taking them out of bags and making them fight. They have like fighting kittens, and they got to stop that in Mexico. So, $6 million will help that. You know what I'm saying? It's like Trump has so many years. So many people that are wanting money from him that he doesn't even think anything about. 1,600 people attacked the Capitol in one way or the other, right? You can't just go to the Capitol and walk in. You have to be like on a tour, I believe. I think I went in on a tour the first time, and then after that I was able to go in afterwards. But I think you have to, there's times and rules, there's laws regarding it. But 1,600 people in one way or the other broke a law. And they had maybe 300 of those people were probably violent. So the problem is Biden wasn't smart enough or didn't have people telling him good advice. He should have pardoned all the ones that were nonviolent and left Trump the 320 or 330 or so that actually did kick a police officer in the head or shot bear spray at him or caused a heart attack in one or with suicides that were caused by the stress and the damage of that day, being emotionally, not even being able to be safe in your job anymore. That kind of thing maybe plays into it. But I think if he had pardoned the nonviolent ones, then if Trump had pardoned the violent ones, we'd be able to say, well, what the fuck? But he pardoned everybody. And when they asked him why, it was like, who has time to look at 1,600 files? It's like the laziest excuse I've ever.
He's just living for his time. He's not living for.
Some of those people that he actually released have been convicted of crimes. One of them was killed in a traffic pull over. You know what I mean? Like pulled a gun and the cop had to shoot him. So then they weren't the best people anyway, and the karma's going to show that. But you're right. He's living for this time and no other time, right? He knows he'll be dead like after this, and he doesn't even care. He's like, I'm just not going to have transsexuals in my world. Even though there are like fewer transsexuals than there are people allergic to peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, which is worse? I mean, you know, I understand what you're saying. You don't want your child, you don't want your daughter to ever go into a ladies' room and have some man with nefariousness go in there and try to abuse her or take advantage of her in the ladies' room. But when does that happen? Can you name any situations that has? I mean, I'm really intrigued.
Well,
is there anything that
how
you know
many
of
women want to tell you that they've been raped by some old man?
Well, I don't want to tell anybody I was raped by men, but that's
Exactly.
what happened. I mean, you know, it's embarrassing. It's humiliating. For 8 years, I couldn't tell anybody. I was fucking still in shock. How dare something like that happen to me? I mean, I didn't sign up to fucking be gang raped, dude. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
to me it's as debilitating as getting shot, because I'm not gay, by any means. But, you know, to hear Trump say it, I'm probably a faggot, right?
Right.
I probably liked it, because he's like talking about the lady up in space with the guy, like, maybe they'll fall in love.
In Trump's eyes, you didn't tell nobody for 8 years because you liked it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Not that I fucking was dealing with it harshly and had so many jobs I went through, because I was a fucking mental basket case. I was abusive to women because I was going nuts in my mind about what had happened to me. And like, what am I going to do? Tell my girlfriends I got fucking, you know, emasculated. So, but I'll take care of the bills, honey. Trust me. You know what I mean? How can you even look yourself in the mirror for fucking 8 years like I didn't?
Because you did nothing wrong.
I still hate my fucking self, man. I'm still fucking, and the physical damage is not seen, but you know, it is fucking physical damage from having 3 guys fucking rip your asshole open. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's what people that never been through it don't
So
understand.
fuck anybody that hasn't been through it. That's the whole thing with my son. Even he's a little dismissive, like, and I didn't serve long enough. I wasn't injured enough. What is the scale? I mean, that's the worst part about the VA is oh, you're only 10% damage from having your arm shot off. You know what I mean? That's what we determined.
I
The
just
VA
let him
really diminishes veterans in a way, that way. You know what I'm saying?
I'd just let your son run with it. When he does something, since he fucking loves Trump so much and gets himself in trouble and goes to prison and gets gang raped by 3 black
man,
dudes,
I
he'll
mean, it
change
would
his
be
mind.
Nothing would change his mind about Trump, dude. Trump is one of the things, like I say, it's been 10 years with this clown and 10 years with this clown, you know what I'm saying? He just won't let go of the idea that this man was so much better for him than any president in his, like, it means the world to him, like it's a personal favor or something.
Has he been in any trouble?
I mean, just with pot the last time, you know what I mean? Same as me when I was 18.
Trouble.
You know, no, I've been in trouble. I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've never hurt anybody intentionally, but certainly the ex-wife I was with was a demon in human form, the way she dealt with me. I should have never been with her. Her own mother told me that, but I was desperate for belonging, you know what I'm saying? For something stable. And, you know, she had a daughter, and I was even trying to be in her life was like her mother said she had partial complex seizures, so I couldn't even make her laugh, or else her mother would intervene and, you know, you're making her have seizures. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know how fucking difficult it is and how hard it is to forge a relationship with a child, not being able to laugh with that child? Because the mother thinks you're trying to abuse it by making her laugh. Is that crazy? Yeah, it was nuts. And she was physically abusive to me. I was never, until the time it shouldn't have happened, when she's grabbing me by the nuts with her fingernails, you know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't have happened. She went to a religious convention that day, and I didn't want to go. And 8 and 9 hours later, she's just as fucking angry about me not going as the moment she left. To the point she's, you know, attacking me, and her daughter's attacking me. I mean, it shouldn't have come to that, bro. It should have I mean, and I had a bunch of episodes with her that ended up in domestic violence. That's the big bane of my existence, and why even when I passed the life insurance and health insurance salesman, I did doing that here in Idaho to get my license. Well, I didn't get it. They wouldn't give it to me because of my domestic violence. They did a criminal background check, and I'm not even able to sell life insurance or health insurance or get a job for DoorDash, for that matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I got a diploma and a certificate for being a mechanic, but that does nothing for me.
I mean, do you know how to be a mechanic? Have you been a mechanic in your life? It's hard work.
No, I'm saying I went to school and I got certifications for that, but I still can't get a job.
Because of criminal records.
That tells me that school is point.
Well, I mean, have you tried to be a mechanic?
They only want certain diplomas, like a medical diploma or engineering, or
Yeah. Even my sister has a master's degree, and she's been fighting to get a job to pay for the $100,000 that she fucking owes in fucking school loans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like she was working at the University of Florida, but it was such a toxic environment. She was losing years of her life working there, right? You dig me?
Yeah.
Like, and she hated the job. She hated the way the people treated her. And she was making so much less than somebody with a commiserate experience and degree would have, that, it was like, now she's at least branched out. She got a human job at Target, and then she's working, she was working towards getting a job with a temp agency and it's led to now maybe a full-time offer that I'm waiting on hearing if she got for $70,000 a year, which, sounds like a lot, right? Until you figure taxes, it's like she'll make like 54.7 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like it's probably as much as she'd make working the temp agency job and Target combined full-time. Yeah. But they don't even give her full-time hours for Target, right? It's all part-time. So it's just a complicated world for everybody, man.
Mm-hmm.
Some people work till they're 90.
I'd be okay if we went back to like 20. The 1980s.
Well, I mean, what do you remember the 80s? You're young, man. You don't
I don't. Yeah? I wasn't born. I'm just saying.
Bill Clinton's era was probably the most productive in my lifetime because there were jobs for
I'm not looking for productive. I'm looking for ease of living, where nobody gave a shit about anything that was dumb.
I mean, you're talking before, technology, basically, cell phones. Yeah. That's really kind of what, before that, you had no way to really know anything. What party up? Why not? Well, no way to really know anything that, I didn't play with you, did I?
I guess not. I'm in the lobby.
All right, I'm going to go out. I got to, they just asked to join up with me, but what the fuck happened? Were you in the game and then?
I don't know.
I gotta get out of the lobby, sorry. Let me,
I guess that's just me, though. I'd be okay with, being like a old school settler where I had to build my own house and live off.
Yeah, you've been taught and educated and all that, right? It's not something where you'd be building your own house and you've never built anything like that before, right? So
well,
it's like, you
not
built
really,
stuff in your life, right?
I'm not educated.
I never have. I couldn't. I built tree houses and forests, but I got no running water coming in these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure the people back in those days weren't educated either. They just did it.
Right. And they go and
they had no
choice.
The
problem was they had other people they're happy to help them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People that'd be like, yeah, Jim, if
the
you
community
need help
was loving. They're not hateful like most of the world
on Thursday,
these days.
I can help you with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he helped them with his fucking porch. You know what I'm saying?
Nowadays you got neighbors calling the law on you for dumb shit.
Well, I mean,
or not even waving at you or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's even long. Like, I remember in 2007 when I moved into a tent to be near my child, that there were Mexican workers that lived across the way. I'm not trying to be discriminatory. I'm just saying that they were, probably illegal immigrants, and, there was no fear of Obama deporting them, but they were working at, like, different construction or, farming things around the area. But like you say, every morning, I'd go fucking wave to them when I came out of my tent, and they never waved back the whole time they were there. They'd be drinking their coffee out on the porch and just living their life. And I never gave them the finger or a fucking, what do you think, you're better than me? You know, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? I just fucking accepted that, you know, they were going to be fucking scared of white people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Probably just had fucking fear of, like, you know, they don't want to be friendly with any white person. They'd be like, yeah, I know whether you're fucking buying some illegals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, they got to be safety. There's safety in numbers, too. So there were 6 of them living in a camper. You know what I mean? But it's the idea is they're probably making a lot of money, and, you know, at some point in the next year, they were going to be able to, all, you know, 6 of them would have a camper. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it's like, you know, they know how to actually take care of their own, too. I deliver Chinese food to, you know, a house full of 12 Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? And big bags, $70, $80 worth of Chinese food back in 2006. You know, probably 160 to 200 now. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, they'd feed everybody in the house. And they all had fucking nice cars, and just one
I used
house
to have
with
some
like
friends like that that lived right down the road.
Milk crates as chairs, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fucking weird. You have a fucking guy with a fucking Chrysler 500.
Call you and your whole family over to eat with them and shit.
Yeah, they'd be very friendly like that. They'd ask me what was good, and fucking, you know, I'd prove it that I liked the fucking, like, the crab rangoons were the best I've ever had. So they were like, oh,
see, my two friends, his two sons were born there, and they went to school, but him and his wife were, they didn't have no visa or nothing.
Really? I mean, you weren't, like, tempted to call on Mig-Ray?
No,
and, like,
I didn't give a fuck.
Give money for it, like, you get $10,000 for you know, turning in your neighbor. You know, I mean, if they did that, I'm afraid my son would be signing right on up for that. You know what I'm saying? It's too much money to pass
care
up.
less. I mean, it's not our fault that they work harder than we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're usually better at it.
They have a work ethic that comes from a whole history of work. I mean, like there's a lot of people that say that we're too soft as Americans, and you know that most of us are like fucking upset when fucking Hardee's doesn't have a double burger we wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, it's like, you know, they
get mad because they fucked up your order.
These Mexicans and shit, they're coming from people that, you know, had splinters in every finger. You know what I'm saying? And had to work with it. They weren't able to fucking just like, oh man, I'm calling in today. I got a fucking sore hand. You know what I mean? They got a sore hand.
That's why all these people are mad and want them to be deported anyway.
Well, I mean,
because they are scared they're going to take our jobs.
People are hearing what Donald Trump is saying, which is on Fox News, on all these news that Mexican people, all these fucking immigrants are rapists. They're going to, you know, kill people. They're in the Lake and Riley. Anybody. They throw that, and it's like, well, it's more white men that are rapists and murderers than any other fucking race. It's more black people that kill their own, but more white people kill people than any other people. You know what I'm saying? And that's universal. That's all the world over. You know, and especially in heinous ways and in serial killer ways. There's not many black serial killers in history. You know what I'm saying? There's one guy, I think, in 1983 in Chicago, I think I believe. And he might have been considered like, you know, mulatto. That's, you know, like what they consider African American. Most of the African American killings are like themselves against themselves. And it's over drugs. It's over not being able to be a piece of the American dream because, quite frankly, they see the same thing you just said. That you can get a degree, you can learn, you know, get learned from school and still end up a broke motherfucker, right? There's nothing they can teach you in school that's going to guarantee that you're going to have the American dream. You got to trust that, you know, what you learn. But, you know, I've never had to fucking apply calculus or algebra to my life or, you know, any sort of fucking... Have you had to do fractions that much? Or
no,
I mean, do you know a quarter is worth,
you only need
fucking a quarter of a dollar? You're not stupid. You know what 4 quarters means $1, right? I mean, it's not fucking... You'd have to be retarded, actually, to not know that 4 quarters equal $1, right? And probably every country on Earth.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, I just don't know what school teaches you as far as, like, other than socializing with people that are going to judge you for everything you fucking do.
That's the only thing it's really for, really.
Inflicts that fucking... That's the same thing with college, but they give them a name. It's a fraternity or a sorority. Yeah. Now you get to be a prick to everybody else in fucking... That's the approval of the college you're going to. They're like, oh, you know, you go phi, you get to fucking drown your fucking people in water as a test of their manliness. You know what I mean? That's what happened to me in the Navy. Getting hazed was pretty much the whole fucking idea why it was such an ordeal. I mean, from the first moment I got there, dude.
It's like being in a gang.
Yeah, it was like being in prison. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in prison. And it's
you want to join us? We got to beat you up for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
3 dudes.
Turning 18, I had no idea, man, what I was getting into. My dad had served in the Coast Guard for 20 years. My girlfriend's father had served in the Navy for 20 years. His best friend was like coming over for cookouts, and they were laughing and having a good time, reminiscing about being on the Forrestal, how good the Forrestal was, the Forrestal. And I was a different time. Ronald Reagan was president. There was a patriotism with Reagan that I felt like, you know, the Stark had just happened, right? It had been bombed or had a shell hit it or something, and I just felt like it was my time to serve, man. You know what I mean? Put up my right hand and enlisted, and fucking, you know. Didn't see a video on, if you join the Navy, please be aware, Navy people are really, really gay. You know what I'm saying? 6 months at sea is enough to make men want to butt-fuck each other 5 in a row. You're going to see that. You're not going to be ready for it, but you're going to see it. You know what I mean? And hear it. I'm sorry about that, too. And I can't even fathom that, dude. I mean, I think it's one of those things, if you're killing babies and children, maybe fucking, you know, children and you know, just butt-fucking men, and you just don't have any morals anymore. I guess it just goes out the window. I just could never do that. I could never be like, oh, I can't be a part of this club unless I bang Jim. You know what I'm saying? Come here, Jim. Got something to talk to you about. You know what I mean? That ain't happening with Michael Piars, right? Maybe it should have. Maybe it happened with Pete Hegseth. Maybe that's why he's a good Secretary of Defense. I have no idea. He was on Fox and looks handsy. He looks like he's got, like, you know, what Trump would say, he's like made in Hollywood for the part. But the dude was, oh, God. The dude was, yeah, he served and everything, but I don't think he was in any leadership roles to run, you know, 3 million people. Just insane. I think Trump's doing it on purpose, man. I think it has something to do with Putin and the whole, like, the idea that we wouldn't take Ukraine's side and he would consider Zelensky like the instigator of this is just insane. Putin gave a press conference or something. Tucker Carlson interviewed him. He talked about how you just need to withdraw imperial lines from the 800s. Like, that's going to happen. Like, you know, the 800s are going to, damn it, are going to, you know, reemerge today. Like Trump thinks these tariffs are going to make us as wealthy as we were back in the 1870s. When the 1880s, 1890, when McKinley did tariffs. That's why he wants to rename the fucking holy mountain, the Denali Mountain, the Indians called it, you know, basically, you know, to Mount McKinley. The whitest
we ain't ever
going to
be as wealthy as we used to be, ever.
I mean, no, we're not. We owe $36 trillion. $37 trillion. I mean, there's no way we're going to pay any of that back. You know what I'm saying? It costs money to make the United States go year to year. $6-7 trillion a year. I think we spent $4 trillion in the first quarter of this year, which is like a trillion more than what he spent under Biden last year in the first quarter. So it's not getting cheaper. It's not like we're getting fucking, you know, napkins for cheaper by the billions for all the military bases that need them, or all the fucking government offices that need them, like coffee cups and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Get all fucking hammers that are fucking, you know, $97 each. You know, $1,000 each. Who the fuck knows? Whatever they want to price it at today. That's what the waste they should be getting rid of. But, you know, to think that there's waste in paying VA workers, man, or Department of Education.
I'm saying we're never going to be as wealthy as we were because they've diminished the value of money, but say that it's worth more anyways.
I mean, they can print money and say it's worth whatever they want to say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to be going to Fort Knox. Wasn't that the thing last week? They were talking about, well, the money might be gone, we're going to see if this and that. It's like he hadn't, did they go there, or they haven't gone there, right? Nobody said they did. And if it's what is it? What if it's gone? What they going to do? I mean, money's not backed by the gold like anymore, right? It used to say on the dollar or whatever money payable in gold or payable silver certificates. I had a bunch of those. My mom had given me from like the 40s and the 50s silver certificates. You get paid in silver, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you go in the fucking bank and they give you actual silver for your money. But now it's like, what is the dollar even backed by?
Nothing.
And if the gold's gone, what is it backed by? If they go in there and it's like they took all the gold and it's gone and they have nothing to say it's backed by anything. Trump and Musk got rid of the banking safety nets that were protecting people that have bank accounts from fraud from their bank. He's just demolishing everything. He's demolishing.
I feel like money's just a way to wean out people that are ignorant. You think about it. If you can't get a job and you can't pay for your food, you're just going to die, right? Well, they're weaning you out right there because they're not willing to help you. You must have money to take care of yourself. If you don't got money, you're dead.
Well, you're almost making a sense of the argument. Yeah, I'm getting burned on this. I'll forfeit. You're making the argument that fucking, that Musk is making, that basically homeless people can never be trusted to their own devices. And there's no, like I say, at 1,600 people you're just setting loose fucking on the streets, and 350 of them are going to smash heads in the next week. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
Oh, I'm not saying that they are garbage. I'm just saying that's what they made money
I know
for.
What you're saying, but money is basically to weed out like people that they want to get rid of because they're not responsible enough, maybe, or something like that.
Oh, I'm not meaning like. I don't know.
You miss a car payment, you lose your house because you didn't fucking, pay the mortgage because you lost your job, and you're 18 weeks trying to find another job. You got a degree, but it doesn't really pay for, it doesn't. Your career, like you say, is not built on that degree. Yeah, a lot of people get in that situation and get forced out of a home.
Yep.
I was that forced out even though I had 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, minimum wage doesn't pay the bills. It didn't
but
back
that's
in
because they changed
1994.
everything.
It doesn't now. You know what I'm saying? Well, what did they change? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the potato chip bags have half the potato chips now they used to. You open it up and it's like it's got air in the first half and the other half is like crunched down, so it's not even like you're getting the same amount that you did even 3 or 4 years ago. They've really lowered the expectations. It's $4.98 a bag when it was like $2 or $1.99 or whatever, and it was full. It was full 3/4 at least of the way. So shrinkflation, greed, excessive greed with regards to oil and gas, and the companies that are still charging more than it's worth because they can. You know what I'm saying? Did immediately after the COVID thing just because they could. And then we were drilling the most oil and gas in the history of the United States under Joe Biden. And now we're not. Everything was better financially except for prices. And they were getting better. They were going down. They weren't going up. The egg thing is, I think, because of the chicken virus that they don't want to pass on or make people sick or whatever, but they did the same thing for the baby formula, and Republicans lost their mind too, but children were dying. And now we've had 2 or 3 bird flu people die.
I think we're secretly running out of shit and nobody wants to say anything.
Oh, like we're running out of Pop-Tarts in 78 flavors? Like bacon with fucking apple butter? I mean, what the fuck?
No, I mean in general.
In general.
Eventually we're going to pump all the gas and not have gas. We're going to run out of oil because there's going to be no oil left. We're just diminishing the world to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to put it. We're diminishing the world to nothing. I agree. And yet Trump's signing EPA, like you say, he's not looking ahead 30 or 40 years to see how Boston
technically,
is gonna be
we are just a virus.
Oh, yeah, that's what George Carlin says. We're like fleas on a dog.
To the
Earth
world.
is eventually going to just shake us off. You know what I mean? So the comet's going to hit us. War is going to start.
I don't think Earth's going to shake us off. I think it's going to die.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what, Mad Max style with a 900-degree fucking day in Australia where they can't even live underground anymore?
No. I think it's just going to die.
I don't know, man. There's always going to be 7-Elevens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, you can't keep a good fucking store down. But the idea is, yeah, you're right. There's a reckoning coming, but Trump is too insane, blind, or old and demented
To realize.
to see it or to even give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's not going to be in my lifetime, baby. You're not going to be
so
fucking.
He doesn't care.
You're not going to have brownouts in every fucking city in this country because electricity is, you know, $79 a kilowatt hour.
Yep.
He's not going to have to deal with that. He doesn't have to. Trump doesn't have to deal with a goddamn thing since 1946. That man has been coddled.
If we don't run out of oil or livestock, we'll run out of water. And if we run out of water, we die anyway.
Like I say, why isn't any rich person building desalination plants? Like Elon Musk could build 50 of them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get ocean water to be converted into seawater, make sure the entire human race has something to drink. And yet Elon Musk is like, we need to get to Mars because Mars is where we're going to survive as a species. You know, it's not going to be a species if we're not on Earth anymore, you stupid fuck. And you're going to bring your Nazi fucking ideology to another planet? For trillions of dollars it's going to cost that you've fleeced from Social Security and from Medicaid and from all these entitlement programs, they call them, that are keeping grandma and grandpa alive, keeping disabled people alive, keeping veterans alive. You know, not helping near as much as it could because Congress makes more money being lobbied than they do in their career as senators and congresspeople. Well, how's that fair? How's that legal for them to, they know that fucking Apple's going to, you know, have a new announcement in the next 2 days so they can fucking buy more stock. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating to me. I would never be
blows my
that
mind
greedy
that they're all
serving my
about
country,
we
ever.
the people, but
Right.
we the